Hello guys, you are highly welcome to my channel. My name is Mr. Adinuba, and in today's tutorial we're going to be building a live streaming application using ReactJs and ZEGOCLOUD. So as you can see on the screen, this is the application we are going to be building in today's tutorial. Guys, before we continue with the tutorial, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do well to subscribe to this channel. Also give this video a thumbs up and write your comment down below on the comment section. Let me know what you think about this project and which other project do you want me to build so that we can build them together. So, in today's tutorial, this is what we are going to be building. This is a full functioning live stream web application. So we're going to be building this application today through the help of ZEGOCLOUD. ZEGOCLOUD will make our work easier. All right, so I'm going to demonstrate how this application works right now. First of all, we have to sign up, or if we already have an account, we can sign in. To sign up, we can sign up using this button over here or using this create account button. Also, if I try to go to profile page, now that I am not signed in currently, it's going to redirect me to sign in. For example, you see it redirect me to the login page. That is because I'm trying to access the profile page without logging in. Now let's go back. Also, the same thing goes on with the schedule page, the go live page. I have to first of all log in order to access any of these three routes. Now let's create an account by clicking on register. So here I'm going to register with my Gmail account. So let's click on continue with Google. And I have successfully logged in with my Gmail account, and here, as you can see, my profile image. If you notice, before we logged in, there is sign in button and also register button here. But now that we are signed in into the application, you see this, the button has disappeared. Also, here there is a create account button, but the account is the button is no more because we are currently logged in. All right, so we can click on this to see the profile details. We can manage the account by clicking here, or we can sign out by clicking on this button over here. Now that we are logged in, we can also access the profile page. We can access the schedule page, and we can access the go live page. But before we go live, let's schedule a stream. To schedule a live stream, we click on this button. Now let me schedule a live stream. So let's say web development, and let's select the date this live stream will hold. Let's click on this. Now let's say like 3:30 a.m. and let's write the description. All right, so let's go ahead and click on create now. And as you can see, we have created a live stream. We schedule it. All right, this is done through the help of FireBase database. All right, Firestore database. That's what I'm going to be using to save this. As you can see, if we refresh, it will still be there. All right, let's add more schedule. Let's say, okay, let's select this 16, and let's select this, and let's hit on create now to create this schedule. And as you can see, it has been added. All right, so as you can see, this one is having upcoming here, and this one is having go live. So this is because the one that is having go live is happening today, while the one that's having upcoming is happening a day after today, and that is the difference. Now we can also go ahead and edit any of the schedule we have. For example, I can edit this. Let me add something like well done here, and let's go ahead and edit. As you can see, it has been edited. We can also edit the time. Let's see, I change the time and the date. Let me change it to 15. And as you can see, they are edited. Also, everything, we can edit everything here. All right. We can also invite a co-host and also invite audience. If you click on this, it will copy a link to invite the co-host. All right. So also, if you click on this, it will copy the details to invite an audience. Also, you can delete anyone you don't want by clicking on this button. For example, when I click on this, you see it has been deleted. To go live after creating a schedule is very simple. Just click on this go live button and it will go live. All right, so this page will appear. Now it will ask you to approve the use access to your camera, also access to your microphone. Click on allow, and here is it. So if I want to invite a co-host, I can copy this link and send to the co-host. And also if I want to invite an audience, just an audience, I can also copy this link and send to the person. Now let's go ahead and join, but before then, let me click on this. Okay, and let's join. So I am the host here. All right, and here I can chat. As you can see, I'm the only one currently on this call, and I can chat. I can also view the links. So this is the link for the co-host, and this is the link for the audience. I can make use of all of this. Also, if I wish, I can log out, and I can also change the layout. So let's say, for example, I can change the layout to this or to this. All right. So let's just use auto for now. Now we can also share the screen. We can share the screen by selecting that. All right. So we can share the screen, and also see the screen has started being shared, and we can disconnect our mic, disable the video and all of that. So this is awesome, guys. This is awesome. To be able to join this project, I'll be using another browser, and I will log into another account, and I will use this link to join. All right. So here is my Chrome. The other browser is Firefox. So I'll just log in here, and I have successfully logged in. So I'll look at it here. I'm logged in here as Emmanuel. and also this is another account. So I'll be joining as a co-host. There's a difference between joining as a co-host and joining as an audience. So a co-host has access to the tools that the host has, but an audience doesn't have an access to those tools. Like an audience cannot show a screen. So I'll just copy the co-host link and paste it here. So let's click enter, and this will make me to join. So here I'm joining as Emmanuel. As you can see, it's picking the name that I used to sign up. All right, look at it. The name is the same with this one here. So let's click on join. So this is it. See, I've joined that same meeting, and whatever is being broadcast in the first one is being broadcast here. All right. So this is it. You see, as you can see, there are two people here. So first is Emmanuel, and the second is Emmanuel is the admin user. All right. So this is it. Also, we can, you see, the co-host can also change the layout and, record the screen and all of that. So let's just join again. So you see, as the co-host, we can also share a co-host link. Like we can share a link to other people to join as a co-host or as an audience. All right. So this is it. Awesome, guys. Awesome. Now let me go live here. And now that I've gone live, uh, others can see me. Awesome. Awesome. This is very powerful, guys. Awesome. As you can see, I am live. All right. I'm live right now. And whoever is in this meeting will see me wherever the person is watching from. Awesome, guys. So this is how this works. Let me try and join as an audience. And as you can see, as an audience, I can only invite an audience. I cannot invite a co-host. All right. So this is it. And also when I log in, you see, I don't have much tools here. I can log out, I can chat and all of that. I can chat. All right. And that is cool, guys. That is awesome. So we can also go live by clicking here to go live. And this will go live. All right. We can go live from clicking on go live by the sidebar. Also, we can go live by, let's go to home page. By clicking on this go live button here, we can also go live. And that is awesome, guys. Awesome. So I believe as we begin to learn about this, begin to code this together, we'll be able to understand how this thing really works, and we'll also see some other features that we have not explored. So let's get started, guys. Before we continue with building the project, let's talk about ZEGOCLOUD. ZEGOCLOUD is a leading global communications service provider that empowers developers with robust and easy to integrate SDKs and APIs. This solution allows developers to add core communication functionalities for in-app voice and video calls, messaging, group chat, and other features like video conferencing, live broadcast, and more. ZegoCloud provides a combination of developer-friendly approaches that lets you build powerful communication apps with less effort for both novice and experienced developers. One of ZegoCloud's standout offering is its UI kits, designed for low-code development of live streaming apps. This UI kit provides pre-built components and customizable features, allowing you to create high-quality live streaming platform quickly and efficiently. The UI kits are feature-rich, supporting real-time messaging, audience interaction, and more, making them perfect for any developer looking to enhance their app's functionality. Getting started with ZEGOCLOUD is simple. By registering on their platform, you gain access to a user-friendly console and 10,000 free minutes, giving you the tools and resources to start building immediately. ZegoCloud Intuitive Console makes it easy to manage your project, access detailed documentation, and track your usage. Below, I have a link to ZegoCloud. Go ahead, click on that link and register and start using ZegoCloud. So without wasting much time, let's go into the tutorial, and we are going to be learning how to create live streaming application using ZegoCloud. Let's go there. To start with, we are going to be using VS Code for this project. So let's go ahead and create a folder in our desktop. Let's call it Stream It, and let's drag it and drop it into our VS Code to open it as a root folder. So here is it. So let's go ahead and open a new terminal by clicking here. And here in the terminal, I'm going to use npm create vite at latest dot forward slash. So we're creating a React application using vite. So if this question comes out, just click on Y and click on enter. And here use the arrow button to navigate to React and click on enter. And also we're going to be using TypeScript, so click on enter. So as you can see, a React application has been created using vite. Now let's install dependencies using npm install. So this will install all the dependencies that we need for now. All right, so it has been installed successfully. Let's run the application using npm run dev. Now this will give us this link. Let's copy it and go to the browser and paste it and click enter to open it. So this is how it looks like currently. So what you see there is what is actually within our app.txs. So that's what you see on the home page over here. And next, let's delete some files that we don't need. So let's delete app.css. Also, let's delete everything within index.css. And here in app.txs, we are going to delete all of this. And also let's delete this count state here and everything here. So let's just return h1 and let's say hello world. And you see we have imported app.tsx here and included it. So we have rendered it and look at it here on our browser. So let's also delete this react.svg within our assets folder. Next, let's go ahead and add Tailwindcss to this project. So let's go to the browser and let's search for Tailwind Vite installation. So just make sure you go to this link on this address bar, exactly what you see here. So if you want to create a project from scratch, we go with the first command, but let's go with the second command since we already created a project. So we copy and we click on this plus icon here to create a new terminal. All right. So here we'll be using this new terminal to do installations. As you can see, the Tailwind has been installed successfully. So the next thing we need to do is we need to initialize it by copying the second command and paste and enter. As you can see, Tailwind has been initialized successfully. Now let's add some configuration. So we copy this and we paste it in our index.css. Next, let's take a look and check if Tailwind is in action. Right now, it is not in action. So let's go back to our project we're going to stop the application and let's rerun it by using npm run dev, and let's come back. As you can see, Tailwind is in action right now. So let's try to change the color of this text using Tailwind class. Let's see if it will work. And so let me write text red, let's say 600, and let's take a look. It's not working. Let's go and refresh. Let's refresh it. Oh no, something is wrong somewhere. Okay, so what could be the problem? Okay, let's go and check our tailwind.config.js. So here there is something we need to add. If you take a look at here, we need to add this lines to our constant within tailwind.config.js. So let's go ahead and add it, and let's check if it is currently working. And as you can see, it is working perfectly fine. Next, let's get the images we are going to be making use of in this project. We're going to be placing it within asset folder. So I have uploaded the images in Google Drive. I'll be dropping this link on the description section of this video. So go ahead and click on the link to download all of these images by clicking here. So I will not download it because I already have it in my computer. I will just drag it, highlight them now and drag them and drop them within asset folder. So these are the images we're going to be making use of in this project. All right, so let's go ahead and install some more dependencies. So one of the dependencies we're going to be installing right now is called React Router DOM. React Router DOM will help us navigate through the pages as we create different pages for this project. So let's go ahead and install it. But first of all, let's clear our terminal and let's say npm install React Router DOM. All right. So it has installed successfully. We can now make use of it. And as you can see, it has been added to the package.json. So here in our app.txs, we are going to configure the routing here. So let's import browser router from React Router DOM. Also, let's import routes and also route. All right, so we're going to start by wrapping up everything within browser router. So let's go ahead, delete this, and let's create routes. So within route, we're going to be creating each of the routes. So first of all, let's create route for the home page. So let's give it a path of /, which is talking about the home page. And let's pass this h1 as the component. Let's say this is home page. And as you can see, when we're in the home page, this component will show. And let's just change the color to something like purple. All right, so this is it. Now let's create other routes. For example, let's create routes for the sign-in page. All right, so let's say route and let's say path / sign in, and let's pass the elements. Let's just say h1. This is sign in page, and you see when we go / sign in, you will see that we are in that sign-in page. Look at it here. We're in sign-in page, right? So let's also create for sign up. So let's say this is sign up page, and when we go there, you will see it. See it. Also, what happens when we go to a route that does not exist? All right. So for example, this does not exist. So we need to redirect the user to something. So let's create not found page by using this route. And we're going to give path star. When we give it star, it means any other route that does not exist here, that was not defined here. If we go to that route, this not found will display. All right, page not found will display. You can design a component and make use of it as the page not found component, and it will work fine. So, but for now, we're not focusing on that. Let's focus on the real matter. So let's create pages. So here we're going to be creating different pages. So we'll create the homepage.css, and let's say homepage. let's come over here, replace this with the home page component we just created. All right, so this is it. It has been imported, and that is cool, guys. So if we're in home page, it will just show the component we just created right now. This is awesome. For the sign in and the sign up page, we're going to be using Clark authentication to create that. So let's go to clark.com. If you don't have an account yet, go ahead and sign up. So I will just sign in with my Gmail account, and that is cool. So let's go ahead and create a new project. So click here, and we're going to call the project Streamit. And you can select any option of signing up to your application here, anyone you wish. But I'll just choose to select email and Google. That is okay for me. So you can add any option you want. So let's click on here, and the project will get created. So we're going to be using this project on React. So make sure you select React. So again, if you want to create a project from scratch, that's when you pay attention to this first command over here. So, but we're not creating it from scratch. So I'll just copy this second command, and I will paste it here in my terminal. And let's go ahead and click enter. So it will install Clark. This will install Clark for us. Also, let's create a file called .env.local. So let's create it here. So, and let's go back and copy this, and we're going to paste it here. So this is cool, guys. This is cool. All right, so we are ready to use Clark. So we need to add this to the main. So let's come over here, paste this, and let's import Clark provider. So as you can see, it's saying here that we're going to import Clark provider and wrap everything within Clark provider. So let's copy it, and we wrap our app. Let's wrap our app within Clark provider. And we're going to pass a very important prop to it, which is publishable key, right? So let's pass it publishable key, and done. So it has been done. So right now, nothing changed. If you go to sign-in page, there's no difference. But right now we need to add the sign-in page. To add the sign-in page, let's come over here, and we are going to create a new page called sign-in page .css. Now let's import something called sign-in. So this is the sign-in form. We can just add it to the application. To learn more, you can just come over here, go to the guide and learn more on how this thing works. So, but we don't have time to be doing that. So let's just add the sign in here. So I will replace this H1 with the sign-in page that we just created. All right, so let's say sign in page, and that is it. So if we come to /sign in, you will see the sign in form within here. Can you see that? So we have successfully added a sign in form, but we need to bring that to the middle. So to bring it to the middle, let's write some Tailwind class here. Let's add some CSS. So let's say it should be flex, and the item should be center, justified center, and it should have each screen. So this is it. See, it is on the center right now. Now let's pass in some props. The routing part. Also, let's pass in the paths for this will be sign in, and let's see sign in. Okay, let's see first redirect URL. So after a successful sign in, we should redirect to /, which is the home page, right? And also let's create sign up page. So we create a component called sign up page. The extension is wrong, something is wrong. Okay, so TXS, and we have created the sign up page. So we are going to import sign up from Clark. And also let's copy this class we have here and we paste it over here. Now let's replace this H1 over here with the sign up page we just created. And if we go to /sign up, we are going to see the sign up form. And this is awesome. Awesome, guys. So let's also pass in some props here. So routing will be path, and the path will be /sign up. And also we are going to pass in this sign in URL. The reason why we're passing this is at the bottom of sign up form, there is a sign in button here. So when we click on it, it will direct us to sign in. Also at the sign in form, there is a sign up button there. All right. So that's what we are adding this. So let's just add this first redirect URL so that it will redirect us back. Also here, we're going to add sign up URL so that when we click on sign up on the login page, it will redirect us to sign up. And that is cool. So let's go back to the home. Now we need to add some CSS code to this project. So let's go to index.css and let's select the body and the HTML. All right. So let's select body HTML and we're going to say height. And let's say 100 VH. So viewport height. VH stands for viewport height. Also, let's say at apply. All right. We are getting this from Tailwind. So we are going to say text white because we want all the text on this application to be white. That's why we're using at apply text white. Before we continue with this custom styling here, let's go to tailwind.config.js. So here we're going to add some colors. So let's add primary color, and I'm going to use this color code 2. And let's add BG primary. So background primary is going to be dark, somehow dark. So we add this background secondary also is going to be dark, but not as dark as background primary. Also, let's add overlay color. This color, we're going to be using it each time we're creating overlay. Overlay is not going to be it's going to it's going to have some kind of transparency, and that is why we're using RGBA, so that there will be some kind of transparency in the color. All right. So these are just a few colors we need to add. All right. I think we're done with this one now. So here in the index.html, let's go to the HTML tag. Let's just copy this color and let's say style here, and let's say background, and we paste the color. So this will be the color, the background primary for this application. Also now let's change the title of this application. All right. So let's say stream it is a platform for your live stream. Okay. Now the next thing we need to do right now is let's use the dark theme for our Clark authentication. All right, we want to use dark theme. So let's import dark from Clark underscore theme. All right, so we need to install this. Let's say npm install, then we'll just paste it. So this has installed the dark theme. So now in our Clark provider, we're going to pass a proc called appearance, and we're going to pass this to dark. So this will force Clark to use dark theme, right? So this is it. Awesome, guys. Awesome. So we have successfully applied dark theme to our Clark. All right. Now the next thing is to add the sign-in URL. So and also the sign up URL to Clark, so that Clark will know where the sign in page and the sign up page is. All right. So now we need to focus on the home page, but before we need to create components folder. Here in the folder, we're going to create the reusable components we're going to be making use of so frequently. So the first is the wrapper, right? We're going to be making use of this wrapper frequently, all right? So here in the wrapper, we're going to be creating the base container for our application. Follow along as we create this interface together. So React Node, that'll be the type. So enable right bar. So this we are going to be making use of it, but not yet. Not yet. When we're going to make use of it, we'll see the usefulness. All right, just follow along as we create this together. All right. So we are going to add the children here so that anything we wrap up within wrapper will be placed here as the children. All right, so let's change this right bar. Okay, now let's come to home page and let's wrap the home page with the wrapper. And if we check our browser, you will see that it will show the home page, but it's being wrapped within wrapper. So let's make some changes and let's check again as you can see it. So within this wrapper, we're going to be adding two more components within it. So the first is the sidebar and the second will be the navbar. But first of all, let's create the sidebar. All right, so I'm going to import it and add it over here, sidebar. So let's just remove this div and just wrap it with this fragment. Okay, so let's go back to the sidebar. So here we're going to be creating the sidebar. So let's first of all give it some class name. We'll make sure that the height is the viewport, like it starts from the top to the bottom. All right. Also, the width should be 300 pixel, and we display it to be fixed. All right. So also give it a Z index of 200, and let's give it a padding of 1 rem, that is P4, right? Also padding right, we'll make sure it is 0. We transition it, transition off, and let's say that the left should be minus 320 pixel, but anything from 768 upward, it should be 0. So look at how it looks like. All right, so this is how it looks like. So let's create an interface for this sidebar. So here we're going to pass in the open, and we're going to be passing a boolean value, which is either true or false. Also, we're going to pass a function. Let's just give it a type of any, and let's add it here. So we have open and close. So I am going to say if open, and we're going to add left 0 pixel, and x will say nothing. All right, so let's switch this to mobile mode, as you can see. So I'm going to add a button that we're going to be using to open and close this. As you can see, we'll make it responsive. So let's create a state. Let's create state called open sidebar, and we're going to say use state will assign false value to it, and over here let's pass open and pass open sidebar to it, and also on close, let's say on close we are going to execute set open sidebar or not open sidebar, or we can even just add false to it, you know, anything. So but let's create a toggle button that we're going to be using to open it at first. So let's just write some style for this. Give it a padding and look at it. So let's add on click and just copy this and give it as a value. No, so remove this and this. So when we click on this, you see it appears. All right, but if it is on a big screen, it will always be there. All right, so let's go and add close button to the sidebar and let's see how it functions. So I'm going to add a close button here. So let's create a close button using div. All right, and let's say close here, and let's say on click, we execute on close. Okay, now look at it. You see, when I click on close, it will close, and that is awesome. Awesome. So our sidebar is now responsive. Okay, it is responsive. Now let's tie this close button correctly. So cursor pointer. So as you can see, it's now using pointer cursor when we hover over the close button. So next, we're going to be creating the logo, but we're going to be using an icon for that. So let's search for lucid.div, all right? And let's click on the guide at the top here, and let's click on installation. And let's go to React section, look at it here, and let's switch to npm, and let's copy this command, and let's open our terminal here in our project, and let's paste the command to install it. Just click on enter and it gets installed. All right, so now let's create our logo. We're going to be using icon as logo. All right, so I'm going to create a logo dot tss component, and let's add it over here in our sidebar. Okay, and within here, let's add some code. So I'm going to use podcast. So as you can see, it has been imported from Lucid icon. If you also want to search for the icon, you can come to the icon section and search for what you want. Click here to copy the name and go ahead and import it into your application and make use of it. All right, so let's give this some styling. So item center gap 2 and text Excel and text white. So let's create an interface. So first of all, we want to add class whenever we wish to add class to this component. So let's say class name here. So if the class name, if it has value, we are going to add it X, we add nothing. So here, let's come over here. Let's add some styling to this. So we're going to change, give it a size 7 and text primary, and look at it. Also, let's add only logo. So it will be Boolean. So if not only logo, then we're going to add text, right? We're going to add text within H1 called stream it. Okay, so the it, let's give it text primary color. All right, so now if we add only logo, for example, it will just show the logo without the text. Look at it here, and we don't want that. So the next thing we're going to do now, let's change this close to X. So we're going to be importing it from Lucid React, and this is it here. And we can add some more style here, make it absolute 4 right 4 and size 10. Also, let's give it a background BG primary. Okay, so we're just making sure that the close button looks good, looks awesome. All right, and we have the cursor already, and this is it. Awesome, guys. So the next thing we need to do, we need to add a hover effect to it. So on hover, we change the color to color primary, to the primary color, all right, with some transitions. Okay, and this is it. So we can open, we can close. Now, next thing we want to do is on desktop, we need to hide it. Okay, it should only show on mobile. All right, so as you can see, it is hidden, but on mobile, it will show. Okay, next we are going to be adding the sidebar routes. So let's remove this and let's go up there and create the routes. So I'm going to say const routes equal to this. So we're going to be creating all the routes within here. All right, so let's say the first route would say the path that is the home page /. So we add a label to it, let's say home, and icon. So the icon, we're going to be using icons from uh, Lucid React. All right. Also, we add the active parts. Okay. So for the rest, I will just fast forward it. Note for this last one, which is go live, I'm adding a target blank, which means anytime I comes to this route, I want it to open on a new tab. All right. So this is the route we have created. So let's map through the routes over here. So let's create a div where we are going to be outputting the routes. So let's say padding top, all right, it's and let's say route.map, then route, then index. All right, so we are going to create a link here. So the link is imported from route router done, and we are going to see route dot label, and let's say to route dot path, and also let's add a target, all right, which is route dot target, and the class names right now, let's add them, and this is cool, guys. Awesome, awesome. So cursor pointer, and we give it some paddings, and rounded, let's use 51 pixel, and the top right should have nothing like rounded. Also the top bottom, all right, the bottom right I mean to say, and just gray 500 transition off. So on hover we change the text to white, and this is it. Okay, so let's give it some background. Let's import use location first from Pirate Router DOM. So here we are going to use get the path name from use location. So if the path name is the same with the current, it has it exists in the active paths. then we are going to give it some background color. So let's see. Okay, so we'll give it bg primary, and the test should be test primary, otherwise it should be text. All right, so look at it. Okay, we need to do something here. Let's go ahead and remove this color from here, and let's place it if no active part is matched. All right, and this is cool, guys. This is awesome. All right, so uh let's add the key here, and let's pass index to it so that React will be able to differentiate each of the routes we have there. So this is it. We are done with the sidebar. All right, so this is what makes up the sidebar, and this is cool, right? So now let's go ahead and create the nav bar. But before then, let's just remove this. So I'm going to create a new component right now called the nav bar. But before then, let's remove this, and let's just say main, and within the main we're going to have the children, okay, and also the nav bar. So I'll just place the children within this div, and let's go ahead and have some styles here, and also let's tie this pattern length 0, but from 768 upward pattern length should be 300 pixels. So if enable right bar is in place, if it is true, then we add this class. I'm going to add it right now. All right, pattern length should be pattern right dimension should also be 300 pixels. So later we're going to see this in action. All right, so let's now create the navbar component, and let's go ahead and import it. We place it here. It will be the first child of our main element. All right, and that is it. So we can uh, create everything about the navbar here right now. Let's just give it some style. Less item center justify between. Now let's add the logo, and we only want only the logo, no text should be involved, and we want to show it only on a smaller screen. All right, so let's add more styles here. So let's say gap 4, p-4, sticky, top dash 0, z index, then we'll give it 50, bg secondary, and D, we give it BG primary, and let's give it a border bottom of 1 pixel, and border bottom, the color should be split 700, and this is how it looks like. Next, let's go ahead and create the search container. So I'm going to create an input here. Let's move this down because we're going to be creating other attributes like placeholder. So let's see search here. Also the class, let's style this. Let's just say BG transparent for now. And let's come over here. Let's create. We imported the search icon from Lucid React, and let's create this. First of all, it will be hidden by default, and at XM, that is 640 pixel, it will be displayed flex. Okay, so rounded full, and at MD, we change the BG to BG secondary, and let's see, the outline should be known. Also, the border should be known, and the width should be full. Text x-sm. So here, let's give it some class. So first, we are going to say transition off, and this is it. So let's create something here, focus, and set focus. So this stage, we're going to be using it to determine whether the input within our search container is being focused or not. So on focus, we're going to set focus to true. Set focus, we pass through to it. And on blur, we're going to set focus to false. So let's change this to on blur. And that was it. So we're going to use this focus to change the color of this icon. So if it is focused, the color should be text white. X, it should be text gray 500. And let's take a look at it. See, when it's focused, the icon color becomes white. But when it is not focused, it becomes gray. And that is cool, guys. Awesome. So here, let's go ahead and create this. So we're going to import the user button from Clark, and we're going to place it here. The user button will appear over here if the user is logged in. So for now, the user is not logged in. So let's create some buttons for logging in and signing up if the user is not logged in yet. So as you can see, we imported this signed out from Clark. All right, so here we are going to create this item center gap 3. And first, let's create the register button. So we import this link from the router DOM. So let's say sign in. Okay, so we create the sign in button first. So when this button is being clicked, we'll redirect to sign in page. So let's give it some class. EX-4 rounded -MD text-SM cursor-pointer, and we duplicate this. So this second one, I'm going to say register, and when it's being clicked, we're going to redirect the user to sign up. So we're using BG primary for this. Okay, so look at how it is. So we can now sign in over here, and there is it. Okay, and remember, these two buttons will only appear if the user is signed out. Okay, so next, let's create the menu button. So this menu is imported from Lucid React, and let's style it flex item center, justify the center, size -10, bg -bg secondary, cursor -pointer, rounded -md. So also, let's give it on click. We are going to create interface for this navbar. So let's say I navbar, Then we'll say on menu click, let's just say any, and here let's add the interface and the structure this. So let's add the on menu click over here. Now look at how this looks like. That is because we added this md.hidden, so it's not displaying, right? So look at it here. So let's just add some classes here. So flex item, let's say justified dash end, and item dash center gap dash gray, and this is it. All right. So let's add on menu click here, the probe here, and we are going to just copy this and pass it to it, and this is it. Awesome. As you can see, it is functioning very well. Now we don't want it to show on big screen. All right, so we hide it on big screen. It only shows on mobile, and that is cool, guys. Awesome. So also let's only display the user button when the user is signing. All right, so this signed in is imported from Clark. Now let's go ahead and sign in. And you see, now that I'm signing, as you can see, the user button here is here, and we can also sign out by clicking here. So when we sign out, you see that the sign in and the register button has appeared. Awesome. So we are done for now with the nav bar. So let's go ahead and work on this home page. So enable right bar. As you can see, when we add it, it creates a space over here. Now let's go ahead and create the right bar. So let's say right bar.tss within our components folder. So here we're going to create the right bar. So let's import the right bar and add it here. So if enable right bar, if it is true, we're going to add the right bar. Now let's go back to right bar component and let's classes to this div. So let's say class name. Let's say hidden by default. Then admin width 1150 pixels. We'll display it to the block, and we'll also make it the position should be fixed. Top dash 0, right dash 0, and width should be 200 pixels. Height should be screen, and p dash 4. Look at it. So you see right by here. Can you see it here? Awesome. Now let's create a div, and let's create a link here. So the link is imported from React Router DOM. So let's write over here video. So the video is imported from Lucid React. Class name flex item dash center justify dash center guard dash 2 py dash 2 px dash 4 bg dash gradient dash 2 r dash r. So from primary to dash blue 600 rounded dash full, and this is the button we have over here. So whenever we click on it, we are going to be going live, but later on we'll come back and complete that button over there. So here we are creating, we're going to be outputting game streams here. So let's say test grade 500, and let's go ahead and create arrays of game streams. So we're going to create a file called source.txt, and here we're going to see const games strings. So we are going to create this here. So let's export it. And the first item we're going to add here, we'll have a name for it. So the name of the player and the image. All right. So here, let's create index.txt in our asset folder, and let's export the images we're going to be making use of right now. So we'll export game one from, if you take a look at here, there are images called game one dot jpeg, jpg, I mean to say, also game two, so we're exporting all of these game images, and there are four of them. So let's use the first one. So as you can see, it's imported from asset. All right. So watching also, we're just going to see 1.5K, and let's copy this one and just duplicate up to 4 times. And let's change the name of the second one and also change the image to game two. And let's change the watching to 3.2K. And the third one, change the image, change the watching to 5K. And also the fourth one. All right. So now let's go ahead and import it here. Game streams. We import it from the sources, from the source.txt file. And we're going to loop through it here using map. So we'll say game, comma, index, and we're going to return this. First of all, let's tie this to grid. Grid go goes 2, then gap dash 3, and margin top 4. All right. So let's return this div. So make it relative, and we are going to give it a height of 70 pixel, and overflow hidden, rounded dash RG, and also we'll give key. All right. So now here in this place, we're going to output. Let's go ahead and give it some class. So we'll make it absolute first. We'll make it top 0 and left 0, and also z index of 30, and the width should be full, flex, items dash center, and justify dash between, padding 2, and we are going to see class name here, also say flex, and items dash center gap dash 2, and here we are going to create a dot, so make it size dash 2, bg dash primary, and rounded dash full, and also let's output live here and make it text dash gray dash 500 and text dash sm, and over here let's copy this and just paste it here. Okay, and we change this one to gap dash 1 instead of gap dash 2, and we add I here. So the I will be we import it from Lucid React. All right, text dash primary, and also make the size to be 14. Now we are going to see, we're going to output the watching here, game.watching. So let's give it some style, dash text dash xm. All right, and that's it. So here, let's add the image. So it's a game.image, and down here we are going to create a div here and give it some class. All right, absolute bottom dash 0, left dash 0, and z dash 30. So make it flex items dash center justify dash between p dash 2. And here we output the name, and let's see text dash sm. And again, let's come over here and we're going to say absolute again. We say top dash 0. Here we're creating an overlay that will be on top of the card, right? So bg dark overlay height dash full, and this is how it looks like. Awesome. Okay, so let's come to this and change this to 200, and this is it. This is cool, guys. Awesome. Now let's go ahead down here before the last closing div, and we'll create this container again, and h3 will give it a class of text with 500, and let's write popular streamers. All right, so we're going to create export const streamers, and we are going to add the streamers here. So first, the name of the streamer. So let's say the vet is it. Then the image of the streamer. Now let's go back to okay, let's also add the follower, and let's go back here, into the index.ts within our asset folder, and we're going to export the images of the streamers. All right, so streamer 1, we have image for streamer. All right, look at it over here. All right, now .jpg, and also streamer 2 .jpg. So we have about 5 of them. So we are going to export all of them one after the other, and that is cool. Streamer 5.jpg. Now let's go back to our source.txt. So we use streamer 1 here, and let's copy this and duplicate and make changes to them. So let's change the name of the second one to Jude Prince, and streamer 2, and also change the follower. Okay, so the third one now, let's also change the name to Mary Joaquin, and streamer 3, also the followers, let's change it to 4.5k. Now the fourth one, let's say Emmanuel Eze, and streamer 4, let's change the follower to 15k. Now the fifth one, which is the last, let's say Patience Oloma, right? So change the follower to 1.4k, and now we can now import it here. But first, let's create a container where we'll be outputting it. So use m margin top 4, and we are going to import the streamers, and we'll map through it. So it says streamer index. So we're going to return this div. Okay, so say flex items dash center gap dash 2. Okay, so we'll give it a key of index so that React will be able to differentiate each of these. So we'll make it size 8 and overflow hidden and rounded. So we're just trying to create, this is the avatar, like the profile container. So we're going to output the streamer image over here. Now let's go down after the div and create another div. Here we're going to output the streamer name, and let's give it some class. And next, let's output the streamer followers. All right, and give it some class text dash sm text dash boy dash 500, and let's add followers here. And this is it. Awesome, awesome, guys. Now, let's create. Let's remove this, and let's come over to the app. So we're going to create routes for the profile, uh, for the schedules, and for the um, go live page. So every route we're going to be creating is going to be a child of this dashboard. All right. So let's create a route. First, let's say path, and we're going to pass profile. So also going to pass elements for this. So we're going to create a profile page here, and we come back here and we add the profile page over here. Now next, let's create another route for the schedule, or the schedule, whatever it's called, schedule. All right. So schedule page, let's go and create it. Schedule.tsx, and we import it. Now the next one is the go live page. So we create a page called go live page. So go live page.css. Now the next thing we need to do is every route within the dashboard need to be protected. The user cannot be able to access it until the user is logged in. All right. So let's create a component here. Let's call it private route, and let's create this. All right. So we're going to see here signed if signed in. All right. This signed in is imported from Clark. So if signed in, we're going to use the React router applet X. If signed out, we are going to execute the redirect to login component from Clark authentication. All right, so it's imported. Okay, so now we're going to use that component here for the dashboard. So any child that is within dashboard is now protected. Nobody can be able to access it until the person is logged in. So for example, if I want to go to profile, I have to first of all log in before I can access profile. The same goes for the schedule route and also for the go live route. All right. So awesome. So now let's log in, and you see I've logged in successfully, and then I can now come to the profile page. So let's write some code for those profile page. So we're going to wrap everything with wrapper. All right, and let's pass in let's see profile page, and as you can see, this is it. So what we're going to do here is we are going to be outputting let's output, let's first of all use if signed in. So signed in is we're going to import it from Clark. So we're going to see user profile here. We're also going to import it from Clark. All right. So if signed in, we're going to display the user profile. And that is what this code does. Look at the user profile over here. Okay. Now let's go to the schedule. So for the schedule, look at it here. So we're going to wrap everything with wrapper. And let's see, let's create a div here. And let's say schedule page. And let's remove this. And this is it. Okay. So next, let's create, let's continue with the home page. We need to complete this home page before we now go to other pages. So here in the home page, let's create the top slider for this home page. And this is the container for our top slider. So we're going to be using our swiper for the slide. All right, so we'll go to swiperjs.com and let's go to docs and let's create, go to this React section and we copy this command to install it. If it has been installed successfully, now let's import it here. So we import swiper and swiper slider, and also we're going to import autoplay. Let's import the CSS. All right. So now let's come over here. We're going to see swiper here. Then we are going to come over to source. Let's create what we're going to be putting over there. So let's say top streams and let's add some items there. So it's just an image we're going to be adding. So first of all, let's export those images. So we're going to be using these banners. We have banner 1, banner 2, up to banner 4. Let's export all of them. So banner 1, we export it. Also banner 2, banner 3, and banner 4. Awesome. All right, so we add the banner 1 here and we copy it, duplicate, and edit banner 3. All right, and we are going to loop through the top streams here. So I'm going to return and let's use swiper slide. Let's give it a key and have index passed to it, and we just output the image within, and let's add some styles. So we'll give it a height of 150. Then at the MD, we'll change the height to 250 pixels. And let's add some props to the swiper. So slice per view is 1, space between should be 20, and the autoplay should be true. Also loop should be true. And let's add the autoplay module. All right, and that is it. Let's take a look at it. What could be the problem? All right, let's refresh the application. Let's go ahead and refresh. So this is it. It's working perfectly fine. So now let's add something at the bottom here. So before the closing div, we'll add this justify dash between gap dash 4 bg dash bg secondary p dash 4, and here we're going to also add a flex container, and let's see item dash center gap dash 2, and let's output this size dash 10 and rounded dash md flex items dash center justify dash center, and we output the banner 4. Right, so here let's put this. Let's say stream it live. All right, and let's say p text gray 500 text sm, and let's say join live stream. Okay, join live and also create your own stream. Okay, and that is it. So right here, let's create a sign up button if the user is signed in. So we're going to create this sign up button here. So let's write some styles for it. So VG transparent, transition all, text, primary, hover, VG dash primary, also hover, text dash white, and rounded dash view, border dash, all right, that's it 2 pixel, and border dash primary, border dash solid, py dash 2, and px dash 4, inline dash block, and tx dash sm. And secret account here. So you see right now we're logged in. Let's log out and look at the button here. So where is it? Now after this div, let's come down here before the closing wrapper. We're going to output the live streams, right? So let's say div, and let's give it some class. So we say padding top should be 8. So pt-8. Also, let's create this div, make it grid, and grid codes 2, and xm grid code 3. All right, and sm also gap dash 4. And let's come to this source and let's export const streams. All right, so we are going to create streams items here. So let's start with the title. So I'm going to just write the title here: Epic Adventure Live Game Marathon. And let's add the image. Okay, so here in our asset, let's export the streams image. So if you take a look, we have stream 1, stream 2, up to stream 6. All right, so we export all of them one after the other. Stream 3, stream 4, and stream 5, and lastly stream 6.jpg. Now let's come back over here. Let's use stream 1 here, and now let's add the watching. So 11k. So I'll just copy these, duplicate them up to 5 more times. So I'm just going to fast forward this now. So I will show you everything so that you can write them. So I'm just gonna see it. I fast forwarded and I'm done with all of them. So just take a look at it and do the same thing you see me do here. All right. So look at it very well. And now let's come back to our home page and let's import the streams and map through it. So as I just write streams here, it's automatically import at the top for me, guys. All right. So don't need to worry. So make sure your own is imported. Okay. So give it a key and let's go ahead and create this. Let's say overflow hidden. This is the image container we're creating right now. So rounded dash LG, and let's create the img, and we say streams.image, and also we need to give it some classes. So we'll make it transition all, and hover would scale it to 110. Okay, and let's output here. First, we're going to output the uh the let's say the title, and over here let's say class name flex items dash center justify dash between gap dash 1 and empty dash 3 max 400, which means at max weight of 400 pixel we're going to say flex cool. We're going to add flex cool. Also at max weight of 400 pixel we're going to say items dash start. Okay, and now let's add the content gap dash 2, and we add I here. This I is imported from Lucid React. That has already been imported, and we give it some size. Also span here, we output the watching. Okay, and let's give this text dash sm and text gray 500, and let's also give it a span here, and let's tie this, and bg dash primary ts text dash sm rounded dash lg, and this is it. Awesome. This is how it looks like currently, and it is responsive, guys. It is very, very responsive. Awesome. So look at it. It's very, very responsive, and we are done with this design for the home page. Next, we're going to add Google Firebase to this project. So let's go ahead and create config inside our src folder. So we would need this Google Firebase to be able to save the schedules that we're creating. So come to firebase.google.com and use your email address to log into your console. So here I'm going to create a new project called StreamIt, and let's click on continue. No, I don't want analytics, so this will create the project for me, a Firebase project, and it's done. So let's click on continue. So this will take us to the project dashboard. Now let's click on this button here to create a web app, to create an app here. So we call it StreamIt Live, and we register the app. Okay, so first we need to install Firebase. Let's copy this command, paste it here, and execute, and it's installed successfully. Now here let's create firebase.txt file, and let's copy this and let's paste it over here. Now let's say export const db, and let's see Google Firestore. We're going to be importing it from Firebase. All right, so let's import it from Firestore. All right, and here now we can now start creating the schedule page functionalities. All right, go to the design and the functionality. So here we need to create a new Firestore database. So just click on Firestore database and you will be able to create a new database. So it's loading and this is it. So click on here, create database, and next I will just want to use it for test mode for now. So we'll switch to test mode and we'll continue creating the app. Alright, so it's getting ready. Alright, so we have successfully created a database here. So let's go ahead and create the schedule functionality. We'll be saving our data here. Okay, so I'm going to create schedule state and also create this state schedule and use state equal to use state. So it will be equal to empty. We'll be having empty array as the default value. All right. So here we're going to check if the schedule is empty or not. All right. So, but before then, let's also create a state called loading, and we assign first to it by default. And let's see if it is not true that schedule.length, if it is 0, and also if it is not loading, then we're going to render this div. All right. So height 7vh, 70vh. Okay. Items dash center, justify dash center, gap dash 4. And let's go ahead and have this. Okay, this icon. So this sheet plus icon, we imported it from Lucid React. And also let's create this. Let's say you have not schedule any live stream. Okay, now let's create a button down here, telling the user to click and create or schedule a live stream. All right, so let's pass in some styling. So class name py-2 px-5 bg-primary rounded-2xr, and we need to log in to be able to see what is going on. So let's log in, and this is it. This is how it looks like when there's no schedule. This is how it looks like. All right, so let's go ahead and create a schedule form within the components folder. So let's say schedule form.txs, and let's create it. And let's come over here. Let's import it over here. Import schedule form, and let's create a state that we're going to be using to display and hide the schedule form. So let's say display schedule form, set display schedule form. By default, we'll give it a value of first, and we're going to use, if it is true, we're going to display the schedule form. All right, so let's see schedule form. Okay, also this schedule form, we're going to be creating some props. We're going to be passing some props to it. All right, so let's create an interface here that will use and receive the props. So first we'll say mode. So the mode can either be create or update. So we're going to be using this particular form to either create a schedule or update an existing schedule. And here is it. So preloaded data. So when we are updating on a schedule, we need the data of the schedule we want to update. So that is the work of this preloaded data. Also on complete, each time we execute create or update, we're going to execute this on complete, so that we'll use that to know that the action is complete. So when we get there, we'll see how it's been done. So mode. So let's create a state here called mode. All right. So we'll be switching the mode based on the action we want to take, that we want to perform, is either to create or to update an existing schedule. All right. So by default, it will have create by default. And let's pass the mode over here. And also the next is on close. So on close, we are going to just close the file. All right. Awesome. Now let's copy, let's say first, and we are going to load the preloaded data. Let's just create a state called preloaded data here. By default, we're going to give it a value of null, and let's say any. So let's pass the preloaded data here. Now on complete, later we'll come back to this, but for now, let's add on click to this button, so that when the user clicks on it, we're going to display the uh, schedule button. But first of all, we must make sure that the set preloaded data is null, and also the mode is correct. All right, because when we're clicking on schedule live stream, we want to create a new schedule, right? Okay, so let's add some styles here, give it a class. So this first div is actually going to be an overlay. We're going to make it an overlay. All right, so make it fixed. The top is 0, left 0, z index 300. The width should be 100%, the height also 100%. The pattern should be 1 rem, and the background should be BG dark overlay. All right, so we're just making sure that everything is working perfectly fine. So let's now create a form within this overlay. Let's give it some class, bg bg secondary py-8 px-4 and rounded-2 xl. Also h-fit w-full, and the max width should be 400 pixels. Now let's write this title here, schedule live stream, and let's take a look at it. You see it appears. So let's keep on developing this. So we're going to create this close button. So this X is imported from Lucid icon. If you take a look at the top, all right. So on click of this button, we are going to execute on close. Okay, awesome, awesome. Rounded dash LG text dash gray dash 500 hover text primary, and cursor pointer. So you see when we click on here, it will close. But for now, let's wrap this thing within a div. Let's wrap the h1 and the div within another div. We make it flex and justify dash between item dash center. Let's copy the two of them and place it inside. We move it in. All right. And you see when we close, we can open and close. Okay. So let's create other parts of this one. Command. All right. So here we are going to create the input. So this is the input for the title. So we give it a placeholder of title. Also value, let's create the data, the way we want the data to look like. So we create data. So every data we need, we're going to add the key here. So first we need a title. So we have empty value by default, the date, the time, and the description. All right. So we need all of this. And here we're going to say value is data dot title. And also we're going to add on change here. All right. So on change, we're going to set the title within the data to be the value of whatever we're typing here. All right. It will be assigned to it. All right. This is cool. Awesome. Now let's give it some class name. The block, we'll make it block w-full, and height should be 50 pixel. Text sm bg-bg primary px-2 rounded-md, and outline none, also border none. Okay, and that is cool. So we give it some gray border, and on focus we make the border color to be primary. Awesome. Look at it. Okay, so let's go ahead down here. Let's create another uh one. So here we're going to create this is justify dash center. So we're going to use a package called React Date Picker. So we're going to install it. All right. So let's copy this and come over here. Let's start install. And it has been installed successfully. So let's come here. Let's copy this this two line here, and let's paste it here at the top. So we imported the date picker and the CSS. All right, so let's use the date picker here. All right, we pass in a prop called inline because we just want it to show. We don't want it to hide. And selected will be dates, data.date. Also, the minimum date should be the current date so that the user will not be able to select a date like this previous, like yesterday date should not be selectable. All right. So, because somebody cannot schedule a meeting yesterday, person can only schedule a meeting today or tomorrow or day after today. All right. Any day after today is possible. Okay. So, this is it. Now, let's come over here and add any, and that is cool. Awesome. So let's add placeholder text here. Let's remove it because this is not even necessary. So let's just remove it, and then just add show time select and time interval. Let's make it 30 minutes, and also the format for time. All right. Awesome. And look at it. You see, this is how it looks like. So the next thing we need to do is we need to write a style that will make this date picker to be okay. But before then, let's create the text area for the description. So let's just create all the parts before we now go back and style the date picker. All right. So value data dot description, and on change we need to add whatever the user is typing to data, to the description key. All right, and let's add some style. So actually we okay, so we make it block and double full and height 100 py-2 text-sm and bg-bg primary px-2 rounded-md and border dash gray 700 and focus we make the border to be border primary, and this is it. Now let's go ahead and create the either the create button or the update button. All right, so let's see. If mode is equal to create, then we know that the person wants to create uh, a new schedule, but if not, it's going to be edit now. Okay, so also on click of this, we're going to do something, but before then let's style this button to make it look good. Okay, so we use background gradients from primary to blue 600 and px-4 rounded dash lg, and on click we are going to say create schedule. So this create schedule has not been created. Let's create a function called create schedule. All right, this function we're going to use it both to create and update the schedule. All right, so look at it here. So before we continue with that creating this function, let's come to our index.css. Here let's write uh, some CSS styles for our React date picker so that it will match with our DAP theme. All right, so we'll select React date picker and let's style it, make it look good. Let's give it a background. Let's apply the background from Tailwind PG primary. Also, let's tie the header. So give it a border block color, border bottom color. Okay, so 5 and let's apply the background from Tailwind. So let's come over here. Let's tie the current month and also the time header, and the year header, and we make the color to be, let's just apply the color from Tailwind. Let's just say just white, and let's go ahead to the next section. So the day and also the date name, and let's select the time name and the color, make it CC. Now let's go to the next section, date picker, the date selected, and the day keyword. Let's change this to keyboard, not keyword. And the in range. Okay. and also the day in selecting range, and we'll apply the background primary and the text white. Now let's copy this. Okay, let's just start it from scratch. So on hover, and also the month text hover, and let's add the quarter text hover, and the year text hover. So on hover, we apply the BG primary and the text white, and come over here. Let's style the time selector to dark theme. So time container. So make the background, the border left color, and we'll apply the BG primary. And over here, let's go ahead and select the time container, then the time and time box with 100%, and we apply the BG primary from Tailwind. Time, we add the picker time, we add the picker box, time box, and select this. Okay, so let's just let's apply the BG primary, and let's go ahead and copy this from here to here, and let's just paste it here. So let's just add selected here, and let's add the BG primary and text white. Awesome. Also, let's add this, the hover. Just copy this and paste here, and that is all. So let's take a look at it. So this is how it looks like right now. Awesome. And as you can see, we cannot select previous date. All right. Awesome. Now let's close this, and let's create const. Let's say loading. Set loading here. Okay. Use state. It's Boolean, so which means it can either be true or false. Now let's go ahead and create another state error, and use state string. So the error message is going to be a string. Now let's focus on this create schedule, and let's write code for it. All right. So now let's write the code for create schedule. But before then, let's output the data. Let's see what it actually carries. All right. So let's open the console. So you see when I type on the title, you see the data captures it. All right. When I select a date, it captures it. When I select a time, it captures it, and all of that. So that is it. Okay, so we start by setting error to empty value. Okay, so if not data.date, we are going to set an error to date is required. Also, if the time is not set, we are going to say time is required. Now let's click let upload. So let's format this uploadable data. So we want to make sure that this is in an uploadable form before we can upload it to our Firebase to store it. So we're going to be using a package called Moment to format our date to make it look good. All right. So we're going to format it into year, let's say into uh, month, day, and year. Also the time, we're going to format it into hour, minutes, and either AM or PM, depending on the time we selected. Also the date, the email address. So we're going to be getting the email address from Clark. So let's use, let's say const, then this user, then say use user. This will be imported from Clark, right? And we're going to say user dot primary email dot email address. This will get the email address of the user. Also the schedule ID. We're going to be using a package called generate unique ID. Let's install it. Generate unique ID, and this will install it. So this is the package we're going to be using to generate unique ID each time we want to create. So we're going to pass a length 6. So I'm saying that the ID is going to create, it should have a length of 6. Now let's console log its upload and see what it holds whenever I want to upload something. All right, so let's see. So we enter the title. Let's enter title. Let's select date and time, and let's write some description here. And you see, this is the value of the upload. As you can see, the time and the date are formatted very well. Now, let's go ahead and upload this to the server. So we're going to use try catch for this. So if any error occur, we'll catch it finally also. Okay, so we're going to set error here, set loading here to true. Here, if any error occur, we're going to set error to that error that occurred. Error.message. And let's see, finally, we set the loading to first. And here, we're going to be using the mode here to determine if the person is trying to create or update. So first of all, let's handle the create. We're going to be using add doc, which we're importing from Firebase. All right. So we're also going to use collection, which also will be imported from Firebase. And here we'll pass in the DB we exported from firebase.txt within our config folder. And this is it here. Also, we're going to pass in the name of the collection we want to save the data on, which is schedule. And we pass in the data, which is upload. All right. So if everything goes well, we're going to execute on complete, and we pass the upload data to on complete, and we return on close so that the dialog or the pop-up for creating this will disappear. So let's try creating one. So we'll write a title, and let's select the date and time and write some description. And let's go ahead. Let's write this. Okay. So let's hit create now. And let's click here. Let's refresh. Let's make sure. All right. As you can see, schedule has been added. Collection, as you can see, these are the data we just submitted right now. And it's added to our Firebase. Awesome, guys. Awesome. Now let's come here. So we're going to say if loading, if it is true, we're going to display please wait. X, we're just going to display whatever needs to be displayed. All right. All right. So let's see it again. Awesome. So we enter the title, we select the date and time, and we write some description. And we'll hit create now. You see it? It shows please wait before you see. It has been added here. The second data we just push right now has been added. Awesome, guys. This is awesome. Now, here, let's fetch the schedules. Let's write the code that will fetch the schedule. So this needs to be asynchronous. So in our schedule page, we need to fetch the schedule here. All right. So let's start by saying const. So we create a query. So this query is imported from Firebase Firestore. All right. Also the collection also imported, and the DB is imported from our Firebase.txt. So also where is imported from Firebase/Firestore. So we're making sure that we get the data from where the correct logged in user email is located in. All right. So we need to get the user email here by saying user dot primary emails dot email address. And here now we are going to say query snapshot wait get dots, which will also be imported from Firebase. All right, look at everything is imported. And let's say data list will be equal to query snapshot dot map, let's say dot docs dot map. Then we're going to return this, the id docs dot id, then with the structure of the doc and doc dot data, and that was it. Awesome. So let's set schedule to data list. All right. Schedule is now having whatever value that's being returned. And that is cool. Awesome. So let's add any here. Awesome. Awesome. And let's see set loading to true. And over here, set loading, let's say false. And now let's say use effort. We need to execute this fetch data immediately the page loads. So we're going to fetch the data when this component loads. All right. So we're passing user as the dependency. So if the user is set, we're going to fetch the data. Awesome. Awesome. So let's console log the schedule and see if the data is actually fetched when this page loads. So let's come back here and let's open the tab now and take a look at it. You see the data returned back, and look at them here. All right. Next, let's go ahead and output the schedule over here. So we're going to say if not loading and schedule.length, then we are going to output the things here. First of all, we're going to add a button to add a new schedule. Then we can now go ahead and output our schedule. So here we create this button and let's say add schedule, and let's give it some class names. So py-2, px-5, bg-gradient to right, from primary to blue 600, and rounded dash to XR. And we are going to add on click events to this, so that when the user clicks on it, the schedule form will appear or display. All right, so let's click on it. You see it display. Awesome, guys. So over here, let's output the schedules. So first of all, let's create this container that we're going to be outputting it within. So this will be a grade container. And let's say schedule.map, and we'll return this div. We'll give it a key of index, pass index, and the value of the key. Let's add number, okay, any a number. So let's give this some class names. E-4, rounded-LG, and let's flex here, item dash center justify dash end, gap dash 4, my dash 2, and over here let's use this edit. All right, so we're going to create this edit icon. It's coming from Lucid React, so this will be the edit button. We're going to be having the edit button, the delete button, and the copy links button. All right, so on edit, all right, we're going to use this button. We're going to set the mode to update because we want to edit a particular already created schedule. All right, so as you can see, the set preloaded data will be the schedule. So let's give it some class. Give it some class. Okay, that's it. Flex items dash center, justify dash center, rounded dash LG, and text dash grade dash 500. Alright, on hover we change this color to text primary and cursor pointer, and this is how it looks like. Alright, now let's create the next button. So this one is the edit button. Now the next button I'm going to create is the delete button. Delete button. Okay, and let's create it here, and we're going to import delete icon from Lucid React. Size is 18. So as for the class name here, okay, let's add the on click first, and let's copy this class and let's paste it here. But on hover, we're going to use text red dash 700, and look at it here. All right. So the next button we're going to create is uh, the copy schedule details button. Copy schedule details button, and we're going to just copy this class here and paste here, and let's add uh, an icon here. But first of all, make this relative and give it a group. All right. So we are going to add this icon. Okay. And let's create a drop down here. So we have to align here. First will be invite co-host. So the user should be able to invite co-host and also be able to invite an audience. All right. So invite audience and absolute here. So give it the full. All right. Awesome, guys. Awesome. Block. Now grounded dash LG, and we're going to see text with 500, which should be 130 pixel, text SM, and text center. And this is it. Can you see that? On hover, it comes up. Also, let's tie this LI. All right. So on hover, we change the color to text primary. Let's just copy this one and paste on the second one. And this is it. Awesome. Now let's add on click to them. So for now, we're going to create the function we're going to execute when the on click is event fires. But for now, let's go ahead and do some other things before we now start working on that. So let's put the title of the schedule here, and let's give it put also the description, and let's say test grade 500 and line clamp 3. Now here let's output the dates, and let's say schedule the dates, and let's hide this flex items dash center, then text dash sm. We'll just copy this and paste. Let's change this to time, and let's say schedule dot time, and there is it. So let's come over here and let's create the buttons. So the button, there are two possible buttons we can create here. If the time of the meeting has passed, we have to display ended button. If the time of the meeting has not passed, if the time is still within the range that the meeting is being set, we have to display go live button. But if the time of the meeting is still upcoming, let's say it's tomorrow, right? While we are still in today, we're going to display upcoming button. So that is the logic that I'm going to be writing here. All right. So awesome, guys. Awesome. So just give it those styles. And T-4 text dash center, or all right. So if moment, then we'll pass in the date. Is if it is before, if it is before now, that is today, then we are going to display ended button. So let's display it here. Okay, so we'll give it to nothing for now. And let's just copy this class and paste here. And let's just say ended. Or we are going to say, let's just say moment. If it is after now, well, then we'll have to display upcoming button. So if it is after, then let's see, let's copy this one and paste. Let's say upcoming. And there is it. Okay, we have some errors. So let's go back and solve this. Okay, we have this here. Okay. All right, okay, so let's just add this empty. Right, so this is it. Okay, so we can let's work on these buttons over here. So first, let's work the on this delete button. So I'm going to say delete schedule here. So this delete schedule, we have not yet created it, but let's just let's copy it now, and let's go ahead and create it at the top. So delete schedule async, and pass in the ID, and we're going to use await delete doc. From I'm putting this from firebase underscore firestore. Also the doc, see all of these are coming from there. So we're going to pass in the DB, and let's write the name of the collection we want to delete from, and also the ID of the schedule we want to delete. So after delete, we have to fetch the data fresh, and this is it. All right. You see, we can now delete. Now let's work on editing. All right. We can also edit, and you see the preloaded data have been passed to this place. Now let's console log this preloaded data and see what it carries. No comma, and let's see. Okay, so you see it. This is the preloaded data. Now, let's make use of this preloaded data by using use effort. We're going to assign the preloaded data to our data state, all right, so that it will make use of it. So I want to say if preloaded data is set, then we'll set our data to preloaded data, but then you see there are some errors here because this preloaded data contain dates and time formats that this our form the date picker does not understand. So let's create a function that we convert it to what the date picker will understand. All right, so let's say cast uh let's call it time string to date. So we're going to pass in the time string and also the date. So let's say the date. So we'll have a value of the current date as by default. So this function will convert a date or time string to an actual date. All right. So we split and let's say modifier, right? And let's come over here, hours and minutes. And we're going to build this from time.split. Okay. And we'll map through this number. And let's see if modifier, okay, if it is equal to this, if it is equal to PM and hours is less than 12, then we're just trying to convert this to 24 hours format. So let me just comment that here. 12 hours to 24 hours time. And over here, okay, we're just making sure that everything is fine, and we're using 24 hours time format. So we're going to return the new date object that I know this function has converted to. So let's return it here. So we'll say new dates. We pass in the dates dot set hours. So we'll say the hours and the minutes and this. So now let's make use of it here. So we're going to say date. We're going to use time string to date. Okay, so we pass in the time and also the dates. So we pass in the date. So next, the time. We pass in the time and also that is it. Awesome. So let's console log the data and see what it carries right now. So this is the data and you see everything is in a good shape right now, in a good format. And then we can now go ahead and edit, make changes and submit. All right. So, but even if we make changes and submit, it's not going to work until we create the update functionality. So for example, if I add something here and submit, it's not going to take effect because we have not created the update functionality. All right. So look at it, nothing will happen. So let's go ahead. Let's come over here. So let's say if mode is equal to update. So if it is equal to update, then we are going to update. First of all, we're going to delete the schedule ID from this from our upload data because we don't want it. We don't want it here. All right. Then we can now update using update doc. Okay. Schedules and we pass in the delivery data that ID and upload. Awesome. Then we execute on complete and on close. Awesome. So let's go ahead and do some changes and see if it works. And look at it. So you see, we may have to refresh before we can see the changes. So which means after this process completes let's execute fetch data here, so that when on complete execute, the data will be refreshed. All right, so let's come over here, let's make changes again, and let's click edit now. And as you can see, the changes take place immediately. Awesome, guys. Awesome. This is awesome. 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 Right. So we can now go live and all of that. So now let's create this copying of the meeting details. So let's create it. So, but before then, let's add this error message over here. So if it has value, we have to output the message. We have to output the value. All right. So let's say div, and let's use class name p-4 bg red 100. So give it a border red 400 and text red 700. And we are going to output the error here. And let's come over here and let's create the copying functionality. So we're going to create a function here called let's call it copy schedule details, or let's say copy stream details. And we're going to have a type. So this type could either be co-host or audience. All right. And also we're going to have the schedule that we want to copy being important. So let's create URL. Okay, let's get the data, the schedule ID, the title, the dates, the time, and the description. And over here, let's create URL, and let's say windows.location.origin and +/dashboard, then go live. Then we're going to add params room ID, then schedule ID is capital letter over here, plus then we say and the role will be the type. So the type could either be co-host or audience, which can also be the role. So let's say navigator dot clipboard dot write text. So this will copy this to the clipboard. So let's output the date. But let's remove this. Let's just go straight and let's say date and add the dates, the time, and the description. All right, and we're going to add a toast to this so that when it's being copied, we will know. So let's use React Toastify for this. So let's copy the import this and let's install it. So it has been installed successfully. So let's come over here and let's copy these two lines here. And let's come to the main and let's paste it here at the top. Let's go ahead and remove the toast and let's just add this toast container after the app. Correct. Now let's add tools here. We're going to import it from React Toastify. So we're going to add the message. First of all, let's say type plus then stream details copied successfully. And let's position it to the top right. All right. So let's copy this and let's add them to this to this. So this first one, the type will be co-host. The second one, the type will be audience, and we need to pass in the schedule. So here we pass in the schedule, correct. And let's take a look at it. So this is it. You see, we can copy those links. Let's we forgot to add something. Let's add the URL. So let's say link and URL. All right. So we can copy this. Let me just copy this one and let me paste it somewhere here. You see it contains the meeting detail. All right. We also can copy for the audience and paste it, and everything is looking cool. Awesome, guys. Now let's create the Go Live page. Uh, so let's add a link to the Go Live page here. So when somebody click on Go Live, your room ID will be the schedule ID dot schedule ID. Then the row for the host. So let's copy this link. Also, we have okay, so you see it comes to this Go Live page. Let's say Go Live here, Go Live page, and as you can see we're in there. Now let's add this to this right bar because we have this Go Live button over here. So let's add the link over here. But we're not going to use this. We're going to use generate unique ID, and we'll say length 6. Also, let's come over here. Let's copy this and let's go to the sidebar. So over here, we're going to replace this with the link and also this. We'll replace it. Now let's import this generate unique ID. All right, and that is it. So what is remaining now? Let's work on this Go Live page. But before we do that, let's go and test our schedule form very well. Let's test this very well and see if everything is working. So let me try. See, I try to create, and even though I did not apply any details, this thing got created. So let's go and correct this mistake. So to correct this, we come to schedule form and we add returns here. So by that way, any code that is after the return will not execute if the if statement is true. And that is cool. All right. You see, it's not creating anything again until we enter the details that is required. And this is awesome, guys. Awesome. So select the date and let's write the description. And let's hit okay. So this is the description. We development. Let's create it. Awesome. You see, it has been created and it's upcoming because the date is to it's not today. All right. We can edit, and that is awesome, guys. Okay, so now this Go Live page, we're going to be using ZEGOCLOUD for the live stream. So let's go to ZEGOCLOUD.com, and here is ZEGOCLOUD.com. You can use this to create live stream, video call. Just check it out, guys, and make sure you register in order to be able to integrate it. Integrating the ZEGOCLOUD is it doesn't take more than 10 minutes. So let's go ahead and sign up. I just sign up here and select my country, my email address, and let me get the code. So let's pass through this, create this, and this. All right, verify. So code, a code has been sent to me. I will just check it on my phone and fill this. So this is the OTP sent to me, the verification code. And let me enter a password, and let's accept all this, and let's go ahead and start there. So ZegoCloud gives you, okay, so let's fill this, the job title and the industry, also my phone number. All right, and let me enter my phone number here. And you see, it gives me 10,000 minutes free of charge in this free trial and advanced support. This is cool, guys. 10,000 minutes free. All right. So let's go to the dashboard. And this is the dashboard. We can now go ahead and create a new project, a live streaming project. And you see, we can create a lot of projects. There are lots of them you can create, but the one we're going to be creating is a live stream project. All right. And let's call it Stream It. And we're going to be using the pre-built UI kit. All right. So that we integrate it as fast as possible. So let's click on this. And this will create the project for us, guys, very fast. Um, Going. All right. So the project has been created. So we can use ZegoCloud for web. We can use it for iOS. We can use it for Android. We can use it for Flutter. We can use it for React Native. All right. So it supports a lot of platforms. So we'll select for web because we want to use for web, and let's click here. And so this is just the demo. Don't want to open this up. Oh no, okay. Let's go back. So let's just go to this config, and let's scroll down. Let's go back to the admin console, and here we can click on the app we just created. So these are the details. So let's go and view the guide. So from this guide, we'll get instruction on how to integrate it to our application. So let's select using npm package manager. So look at it. If you look at quick start, and we have this. So let's install ZegoCloud. We'll copy the command and we paste it here, and get installed. And let's copy all of this. All right. We copy all of them. Then we'll go to our logo live page. We're going to just remove all of this and replace it. We'll replace it with what we just copied. And let's change the name from app to go live page. So for the room ID, everything is simply. So for the app ID and server secrets, let's copy the app ID. I'm going to place it in the env an environment file. So ZegoCloud app ID, and we paste the app ID and also the server secret. Then we copy it here and paste. And let's go ahead and import them. So let's import this app ID. So let's use pass int. I want it to be an integer by all means. So we import it env as number. All right. And also the server secret, we import it as string. Okay. So next, let's add this over here. Now let's remove this random ID. We're going to use generate unique ID that we imported or we installed. Give it a length of 6. So I'm just going to copy it anywhere I have random ID. I'm going to replace it with this. But first of all, let's get the user, the currently logged in user from Clark, and let's come down here. So we're going to configure this. So if you take a look, we have to pass the user ID. So after the room ID is the user ID. So to get the user, okay, we'll have to pass the username, the user ID, and also, all right, so we'll get this from user. And over here, instead of this, let's pass in the ID, or we pass in this. All right, next, let's pass in the name, or if it is not defined, we pass on this. And that is it. It's just as simple as this to integrate Cloud to your application. So let's test it out. I'm not going to be on the camera, but you can on the camera and test it out. Also create accounts in this project and use that account to join the live stream. All right. So look at it. You see it, we can now join. If I enable the camera now, it will show, but I'm not enable it. And as you can see, it's using the name that my name that I use in login. You can also invite a co-host, or you can invite an audience by clicking on each of the link respectively. All right, look at it. Everything is functioning very okay. All right, we are coming to an end of this tutorial, guys. Thank you guys for watching to this extent. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please make sure you do subscribe right now and give this video a thumbs up right now. Give the video a thumbs up and also write your comment down below on the comment section. Thank you so much for watching and God bless. All right, so let's see when we click on this to open a new page. That's why we added targets. So we have come to an end of this tutorial, and that is it. All right, bye guys. Thanks for watching.